Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to be sharing with you very valid insider tips that will help you if you decide to sell used electronics on eBay. Yes, I get it. Used electronics could be very tricky. You want to sell it, you see that a lot of people are selling it and you feel like this is something you want to do. You want to sell it quickly and profitably. There's no doubt about that. Nobody wants to have an item listed on the platform. Nobody is buying it. You want to list your item as soon as possible and you want it to sell. That's your aim. And you are looking for a way to stand out among the numerous sellers on eBay. The last time I checked on eBay, especially when it comes to selling used computers, there are a lot of people selling these items because people have just already realized that this is one niche that is very, very interesting. You can make a lot of money selling used electronics, selling used computers, selling used laptops. Doesn't matter what kind of electronics it is. As long as you understand the tactics, you can actually make quite a lot of money. And another thing is, you are having problems. You really want to provide the best experience to your buyers. This is the exact video that you should be watching because in this video I'm going to break down so many tips or strategies, as you would like to call it, that will help you to overcome these problems. Yes, I get it. If you are selling electronics for the first time, you might be having problems deciding on which price is right. Rookie sellers typically tend to want to put their price so high that they just realize that nobody is buying it. Yes, this video is supposed to help you. You're having problems creating an appealing listing that will attract buyers. Getting eyeballs to your listing is also a tactic on eBay, and you have to know exactly what to do to attract people's or eyeballs to your listings. You're having problems managing customer inquiries. Yes, it could be very daunting. Sometimes you just keep receiving messages, even though you thought you have done your due diligence, but messages come for an item that you've listed. Or even say you are having problems with sales. You have listed a ton of items, but no one seems to be selling, and you are having problems even handling shipping and returns efficiently. This video has been created to really help you to navigate some of these problems, to give you really good tips that have helped me. I've been selling on eBay for quite a long time, and over the years I have gathered these experiences, and today I'm going to be sharing with you these key strategies to overcome the challenges that we just talked about. But the beautiful thing is that it doesn't matter if you are just selling electronics, if you also sell other items, this strategy would also help you. They're going to help you maximize your sales potential and streamline your selling process. So you're going to pay good attention to these strategies. The first strategy is meant to address this issue. If you're having problems setting the right price, the one thing you want to do is to ensure that you are researching your prices correctly. You see, eBay has been so kind. They have provided for us a tool that helps us to check what the competition is selling. If you're not checking the right price of item, what you are possibly doing right now is that you're just listing an item arbitrarily, thinking, okay, this item looks so interesting or so valuable to you, and you just go ahead and list it, not knowing that this is not what the market wants, and the market always determines the price that your item will sell for ultimately. You want to research similar items and understand the market value. It doesn't matter if you've bought your items for $500 or 500 euros. It doesn't matter if you have bought expensively. That's a discussion or a transaction for another day. But before you set out to list an item on eBay, understand that you have to do your pricing research. Terapic is a tool that you have to do this. You want to consider the condition, the age, and the brand of the electronics that you are selling. Truth be said, not every brand of electronics actually makes it to the top listing on eBay. Some just don't sell, and there's nothing you can actually do about it. I've tested this myself. Sometimes I had an electronic item, particular brand, listed it so cheap, nobody was even ready to buy it. The only way you can just get rid of it is when you just give it out for free. See, the condition of the item you are selling also has a very important role to play, as well as the age. See, there are some items that when the older they become, the more valuable it gets. While some other items, the older it becomes, the less valuable it becomes. So you have to be able to understand this thing, and don't get it wrong, these things don't come overnight. Over time, the more you keep putting in the reps, you are just going to realize that yes, there are certain brands that tends to sell, and on these brands you can actually go ahead and do some little bit of you can take a gamble with your price. And then over time, you're also going to realize that there are certain items, depending on the age, they tend to even sell better. You want to be able to set a competitive but yet profitable price for your item. So if the competition is selling at $20, for example, you want to be able to do like $18 or even say $22. But the main thing is that your price has to be profitable for you, because you're actually here on eBay to make profit, and everything or anything that doesn't guarantee that is actually not going to help you on the long run. If you are struggling with creating an appealing listing that attracts buyers, this is the tip that's definitely going to help that. You have to learn to create detailed descriptions and learn to use quality photos for your listings. Yes, there's no way you can circumvent this. The only way you can actually circumvent this is when you have an item that is in extremely high demand. I found out that the Apple products tend to be very, very in high demand. Sometimes when you even list them with very bad pictures, you realize that they sell, but this doesn't apply to the greater amount of electronics out there. Detailed descriptions and quality photos, these are two things that you can never circumvent. Like I said, provide clear, honest descriptions highlighting key features and any flaws that your item might be having. See, some people tend to think that when they put on their description that the item has a little bit of flaw, maybe some signs of use here and there, that this is game over for the item. Believe me, this was what I used to think in the very beginning, but the more I sold on eBay, I realized that the more you describe your items, the more you give the potential buyer the likelihood of even buying the item. If you want to think you can get by posting items without really describing it the way they really look, then you might be realizing that you sell an item and then the item suddenly gets returned back to you. So you want to provide clear, honest descriptions, highlight any flaws that the items might have. You are selling used items. Normally, everybody should understand that used items, they are not new. Sometimes they might have signs of use here and there, but it doesn't change the fact that the item is in working condition. Where I imagine that you are selling items that are still functional. Take high quality photos from multiple angles. Sometimes it might be difficult because electronics, typically you have 3, 4, up to 6 angles that you need to take photos. You know, take photos from the front, from the side, left and right side, from the top and from the back. And sometimes it takes a lot of work to really pull this off. But like I said, the video is meant to help you if you want to stand out selling used electronics, and taking high quality photos is one strategy that I have seen to work. I've tested this also over the years. When I had listings, the photos were really bad lighting, just 1 or 2 angles. Nobody was really clicking on it because you can actually see the impression on the listing that you have. But then as soon as I began to pay more attention to making high quality photos using 3 or 4 important angles, I saw an increase in my impressions, and this consequently led to more sales. Include original packaging and accessories if you have them. This goes a long way to improving the overall value of the item that you have to sell. So if you have the original packaging, feel free to put it in the description. Item is still having the original packaging. Somehow this just has a way of talking to the potential buyer, and sometimes I've seen that this also works. Another thing you want to do if you are having extremely high customer inquiries, then something might be ultimately wrong somewhere. You want to use keywords effectively to actually circumvent this kind of problem. You have a listing on eBay and you just keep hearing people asking, hey, do you have the cables? Do you have the chargers? Do you have the whatever it is? One way you can actually reduce this is to use keywords effectively. In this way, you can go a long way to reducing customer inquiries. Optimize your listings with relevant keywords. Relevant keyword in this case, keywords that will enable you sell the item in question, not keywords that you just put in because you think it's necessary. Over the years, you would have seen that some keyword, let's say you want to sell a PC, for example. PC in itself is a very relevant keyword. Computer is a very relevant keyword. If it's a gaming PC, then you also want to include that. Then you want to include the processor type. You want to include these relevant keywords that will actually go a long way in helping you sell this item. Include the brand, the model, the condition, and the key features. Yes, one rule of thumb is just make sure you use the total character on the title bar of the eBay listing. Don't just stop at using like half. Ensure as much as possible you can use all the characters, and also make sure you are checking similar items on the platform that are sold. You can anyway go ahead and get inspirations from these sold listings and just develop your own title that actually include relevant keyword. Avoid keyword stuffing. This is also some like a thin line between doing a good title and also keyword stuffing. But one thing I want to advise, just keep it natural and readable. This is the only way your customers can see that. It's not like you're just trying to put every relevant keyword on the title. PC, computer, processor, this doesn't work like that. You're going to keep it natural and make sure that it is readable. It doesn't bore the potential buyer when they see your listing. So next thing, you want to ensure quick sale. Like we said in the beginning of the video, the aim of you selling on eBay is not to sell your items 5, 6 or 7 months later. You want to sell the items as soon as possible, and to do this you want to choose the right listing format. This is a strategy that will actually help you. Once again, if you're a rookie seller, it might be difficult difficult to determine which listing format might be best for the item I'm planning to sell. You have to be able to decide between auction style or fixed price listings. For me, I've seen that the new items tend to work better if I list them as fixed price listings, and the auction style listings tends to just be better for items not in the best condition. In any case, I'm also not expecting to have a very high profit on this kind of items, but for the clean, good, well refurbished items, excellent condition, tried and tested, yes, the fixed price listing tends to work better for me. So you want to do your test. Make sure that you do a long enough test to see which one actually works for the kind of electronics that you are selling. Another thing is, if you look at what other people are selling or what other sellers are doing, you can actually tell, because if you have a particular item listed by 10 sellers and for 9 out of 10 times these items are sold as fixed price listings, then you can almost certainly tell that this is the best format to sell these items. You want to use auctions for rare items. You want to use auction for rare items and fixed price for commonly available items. This is just like a rule of thumb, like a tip. You see, handling shippings and returns are something that you'll be doing if you sell electronics on eBay. There's no way around this. If you sell electronics, be prepared to have returns. This is what it is, because sometimes the item works at your end, and when it gets to the buyer's end, the item doesn't work anymore. I've seen it so many times. Never know why it's so, but sometimes the fault doesn't entirely lie on the item. Sometimes the buyer also doesn't know how to use the item. I've seen situations where a buyer actually doesn't know how to effectively connect a computer to a monitor, and sometimes it's just what it is. People return your items for so many reasons. So having an excellent customer service will ultimately mean that you are handling your shippings and your returns very efficiently. You want to respond promptly to buyers' inquiries. Do not leave your messages standing for like 2-3 days. If you get them, as much as you can. Like I said, if you want to take eBay seriously as a business, then this applies to you. If you are just a hobby seller, then you can decide to leave your messages for days without answering them. If you get a message, respond promptly to the buyer's inquiry. It could just be that one step that will determine if you get a sale or not. Ship items quickly and securely. Electronics items, they are very bulky, so on this channel, I've really taken pains to show you multiple times how you ship electronics. Use solid quality materials. Make sure you don't rush things, because these are expensive items. Sometimes an electronic item might sell for like $280. This is a lot of money. You don't just want to be shabby with the shipping, and you also want to ship your items out quickly, because the quicker you can get these things out, the better it is for you, for your rating on eBay. And the eBay algorithm says that you are a seller that can be trusted with a high number of transactions. Offer hassle-free returns to build trust. Yes, this is a very gray area, because it's very painful sometimes to get a return. But the way I say it is that a return is just telling me that the transaction never happened. So if somebody wants to return my item, I make sure I send the return label as soon as possible and just tell my brain that, look, transaction never happened in the first place. But the only thing is, if the item comes back the way it was sent. Yes, I've had situations where a return was initiated by a buyer and it wasn't a problem from my side. Send me my item and you get back your money. But then the item came in a very, very bad condition and really caused me a lot of stress. But thankfully, I was able to get past that. Offer a hassle-free return. This is one way you can also stand out from the competition, because sometimes the competition offers 14 days return. You want to do 60 days. This is one way for you to build trust. Telling your buyer that, look, this item is excellent. I have checked it. I have made good photos. I have described it correctly. See, the item works, and I can even give you a 60-day return guarantee if you decide to buy the item. This is a way you can actually stand out in giving excellent customer service to your potential buyers. I hope these strategies helps you. They have helped me. I've been selling on the platform since 2013, and they have really been a game changer for me whenever I apply one or two of these strategies. Learn to apply them, understand that it doesn't happen overnight. But the beautiful thing is that now you have this information. They are going to stay somewhere at the back of your head. As you begin to go along on your eBay journey, begin to deploy one or two or even all of these strategies, and you will see a fundamental increase in sales on your eBay shop. If you still have any questions, feel free to drop me a comment. But then if you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do so. Like and subscribe. Until I see you again. Peace.